never know, there could be a spark and we end up with a situation where a fire starts, which would not have been ideal. So luckily for us, it was summer and nothing really happened, but this whole pole was down over the road. It was quite something to see. And probably the reason why it came down is because with the rain that we had had recently at the time, the soil was very, very soft. So when this elephant is then leant on it or pushed on it, the whole thing is able to then fall over. It's much like when they uproot trees. You'll often find after really good rains, elephants target certain trees because they know that the soil has softened, and those big heavy roots, if they can just leverage the tree enough, the roots just pull up through the soil, and that's the end of that. The tree comes crashing down, which is a good thing for them, not so good if you're a tree. So what I think we'll do is we'll just utilize this little break in the weather. I do think we're going to get caught by it at some point, because it seems to be now coming back over a little bit, but we'll try and stay on the eastern edge of it for now and give Taylor and James time and see if there's any sign of anything on Chitwa. Alice, yes, the elephants do often try and find some sort of cover if it's really pelting down. We'll try and find some sort of area and get underneath and just break that rain up a little bit and get to. Now, no, not so much. You'll find the elephants will stick around and they'll be able to sit and feed, and the soft drizzle won't worry them too much. And even the rain that is falling that we were showing you just now is really not that bad. It's not going to be too much of a train smash for them. What would be terrible is if we started to get hail and lots of heavy rain. Then you find that the elephants and all the other animals try and find some sort of shady section where they're able to then be able to seek shelter and take cover and try and get out of that rain a little bit. Now, we're in an area where the signal is not very good at all, so I'm just going to be stationary for a little bit and see if I can see anything from here. Let's see if we can see any birds while I'm sitting here. I don't actually see any. What you'll find is the birds will take shelter in this. They know the rain is coming and they're going to go find a little perch somewhere, and they can then be able to find a sheltered area where they can keep dry and wait for the storm to pass. So I think we're going to go home and try and get our roof, because we're going to get wet very shortly as well, and this equipment doesn't do well in the rain. So while we do that, we're going to just link you across to the dam cam. Hopefully there'll be something lurking around the dam while I get back, and then Taylor and James should be with you all shortly.
We've got a roof over the top of our heads. We didn't really dry off because now, of course, it looks like there wasn't even a storm that we experienced. And I promise you, we didn't put the sprinklers or the hose pipe over the top of us as we were driving. There was an actual rainstorm. Now, my name is Taylor, in case you've just tuned in, and Craig is on camera. Craig, I think I can hear what's going on your radio. Just quickly sorting our comms. And obviously, yes, we've got rain covers. We're all a bit flustered at the moment, so we will get with it in just a couple of seconds. So just before we had to go charging back, I was telling you about the Nkuhumas and how they were on the move and moved into Simbambili. Well, it seems, trying to think, that we're very flappy at the moment. We may take off. It seems as though the Styx Pride is on Arathusa somewhere. Now, I'm not exactly sure where, so we will try and venture a bit closer to Arathusa where we can pick up game drive comms, and then hopefully we'll be able to have a chat with one of the guides and see if we can get into that sighting. You will hear a bit of clanging and banging about. Unfortunately, it is the canvas that is, well, feels like it's going to take off because it is exceptionally windy now. This afternoon. James is on his way back. I think he's going to head into the tent, or maybe not, because it doesn't look like there's anything. Look, this is the storm. It's going to be hard to see as well because of the roof. We'll see what we can show you. Yes, you can see the roof now. It's hanging a little bit. I think there's a bit of water. But that's what came over us very quickly. It's now passing by and gone into Buffel's Hook. And it is crystal clear coming from the south again. There's really absolutely nothing now. It's beautiful. Bizarre. Absolutely bizarre, the weather out here. Definitely change of season. It feels like I'm in Port Elizabeth at the moment. Right. Hi, McCurdy Hurdy. Did you guys keep out of the rain? They don't look too wet. I think they found a bit of shelter somewhere. So we're going to start making our way towards Arathusa. I'm going to send you back across to Tristan, who is still keeping dry on Cheetah Plains.
We are indeed. It seemed like a better course of action to come back to Cheetah Plains than to brave all that wet weather that was in front of us. So we came to Djuma Dam and we thought we'd just come and see what's going on, and not very much actually. I wanted to check on the weaver nests and see how they were doing, because a few months ago, or about a month ago, they were feverishly building their nests, and now you can actually hear that there's little chicks inside there that are busy making quite a bit of noise. So there's no more of the building that we saw earlier in the year, but you can hear all the little ones making quite a bit of a racket, wanting food from the adults. And every now and then a female arrives and will go into the nest to be able to feed some of the chicks. I did actually see a bird coming in there now. I don't know where she went to though. But it's quite a racket that's being made there. And you can see why they attract predators. So you'll find particularly things like snakes, boomslangs, which is a tree snake in South Africa. They often find the weaver's nests and they go and raid them, and then other birds will hear the noise, and things like gymnogenes, which is an African harrier hawk is the new name for it, they'll come along and they're able to then find these nests by using the sound that the chicks make. So the chicks are very vocal, which is not ideal for them. Other than that, Djuma Dam is quite quiet. There's no sign of any hippos. I was hoping with this big flooded section of water that we've had that there would be some hippos inside here, but alas, no hippo that I have seen. And there was a few thickneys. I actually can see a thickney on the other side there, VM. You see it between those two trees, feeding on the bank there. So there we go. There's a little water thickney feeding on the edges. And we know it's a water thickney because of that white stripe on the wing area. You get two types of thickneys in this area. You get a spotted thickney and a water thickney. And the water thickney has that white stripe on the wing that the spotted thickney lacks. And that's how you can ID the two of them. It's going to disappear for us. And like I say, other than them, very, very little bird life. I would have thought there would have been a little bit more. I was hoping maybe there'd be some herons here. It's full enough that there should be. You often find green-backed herons off in places like this, along the fringes, busy fishing along. We have a little three-banded plover that's flown in as well. There we go, three-banded plover. So it just shows you sometimes you've got to sit for a little bit and birds start arriving. The weather is not actually that ideal for birds to be coming down to a waterhole because of the rain that's passed. A lot of them, like I was saying, will seek shelter. And on top of that, it's now starting to get quite dark. So a lot of the birds will be looking to get home where they can then be able to roost and be able to find a safe place for the evening. So these little three-banded plovers and thickneys, they tend to actually spend most of the night along the fringes of water, and they'll be disturbed by anything that comes along. But along the fringes here is quite open, so it's easy for them to see anything coming. But things like the weavers, the females and males are going to start arriving back to be able to spend the night in that little thorn tree that they're in. So not the best birding weather, but it just shows if we sit for a little bit, they do arrive. But I think we're going to try and carry on, and it looks like the clouds have moved past a little bit. You can see off to our south, which is where the storm came from, that it has cleared up quite nicely. So I think we're going to slowly start making our way back to Djuma. I think we're not going to get rained on anymore, which is good news for us. What do you think, Vim? Think we're going to be alright now? Yeah, we're good. I think so too. Just got to turn around here, Vim, because our old road that we used to use has been washed and is full now. You can see the dam has gone where...
Hello everybody, we are back on foot, obviously, because you can see my feet. And I'm sorry about the crash cut. Not sure what happened there. Anyway, here we are. We're back on quarantine clearings, and the reason and the way that we got back here was because Geraldine Kent very kindly came to fetch us. It stopped raining, but we just were a bit worried about the equipment, so we came back to quarantine. We won't be going into the tent at this stage. I think the rain has stopped. Now, David, are you able to come around that way or that way? But you need to be 180 degrees from where you are now. I'm going to attempt not to fall off this very fine marula tree. And look at this fungus growing here. It is quite stunning. David, this is very motion-filled camera work you're doing there. Very nice. Like a dynamic. And I'm just going to try... not fall out of this tree. Yeah, I think we're okay. This fungus has grown out, of course, of the heartwood of the marula, and it looks like honeycomb. It's delicious. Well, I wouldn't eat it, but it looks quite delicious. And then on top of that, there are these little worms, which I'm going to try and show you now. This has got disaster written on it. There we are. Whew. There it is. And I don't know what that is. It looks to me like some sort of millipede, but I'm just going to try and examine it a bit closer and see how many legs it's got. No, it is an insect larva. It's got 6 legs. So it's definitely some kind of insect larva, and this one, unfortunately, is now voiding its bowels. Can you see there? You can see the little white stripe behind it. Can you see that? Tiny little piece of white. No? Well, that's its dung. That's its dung. Yes, you got it. Good. Well done. Anyway, we're going to continue our little walk around quarantine now, because I'm not sure if the weather stopped. It may or may not have, but we'll keep going around here for now. There were some elephants definitely heading this way, and so we'll see if we can't get a view of them before the light fades. And apparently Taylor is now doing something called bumbling around, and she'd like to tell you about bumbling around.
I think for the last 24 hours all I've been doing is talking about my bumbling around. I'm sure you've all heard enough of it, so I will stop boring you with bumbling around, and I shall show you an elephant instead, seeing as though one has conveniently parked itself in the middle of the road. And this is a big elephant. I just pulled off the road slightly because I don't want to drive up his bottom, because I have a suspicion that this bull is in must. Yes, can you smell that, Craig? It's delicious, isn't it? Very nice. Smells like drain water with a hint of goat. That's how I would describe the smell of a musk bull. And it's quite overpowering when you are downwind of it. My goodness, it really does take your breath away. Now, it may be difficult to see, and of course you can't smell what's going on out here, but I can see, or what I could see when he was standing in the road, that he was dribbling quite a bit of urine. His legs and, well, his rather large nether region is, yes, it's wet. So we will not drive up the bottom of this elephant, because I do not think he'll be very happy about it. Let's see if we can go the scenic way around. Should we do that quickly? Because I'd like to get into Arathusa, so I'm going to be a bit naughty now. I'm not off-roading. I'm doing a big loop so I don't upset the elephant, because if I go on the road, I'm going to upset that elephant. And we do not want to play around with angry elephant bulls. It actually looks like somebody's done this already. Done exactly the same thing by taking a wide loop. Yeah. So he must have been on this road for quite some time now. Hello, boy. We are not Daryl. Where's Daryl? If it was Daryl, I wouldn't have minded so much. Bye, elephant. We're going to leave him now. We don't want to bother him. Also, it's quite awkward to try and position the vehicle front on, because then it won't be a very good escape route for us. Hi, Wildebeest. We have to have a quick look at this wildebeest because I think it's going to run away. And I'm going to watch the elephant in the distance behind us. That's a big wildebeest bull. You can see now, Adam, you're wondering what animal enjoys the rain most. He's actually tailing after a female. There she goes. Maybe he's courting her. Adam, I'm not exactly sure. I'm trying to think. It depends on the situation with the rain again. So if it is windy and rainy and miserable and cold, none of the animals. No one really enjoys that weather. If it is hot and you have a downpour of rain with no wind, all of the animals don't mind rain so much. If it's a torrential downpour, you'll get zebra, wildebeest, impala all backing up against the tree. The elephants will do the same thing. You know what I'm going to say? I'm actually going to say rhinos. I've had some of the most fantastic sightings of rhinos and elephants in the rain. And they don't seem to mind it so much with their thick skin. But yes, when it's windy, nobody enjoys it. Everybody just moves off. And I think that's what happened as soon as those clouds started coming. Everything just went and completely scattered and, went to their safe spots to hide away. And now everybody is coming out again because it doesn't look like we're going to get another drop of rain. That is so typical. We go through, we race back, put the roof on, get soaked, and then now it's gone completely, which is really funny. But that's okay. We shall keep the roof on, and now we're going to go towards the junction of Triple M and Gowrie Main, and then we're going to turn into Arathusa, and then hopefully we'll be able to get hold of someone. Now I need to find a radio which I've hidden from myself. Come here. Oh no, you guys got a little bit wet. We'll have to dry you out. Let's see if anybody can hear us. Hang on, I have to do a third check under the covers. Haha, there we go. Got to turn the game drive volume up on the mixer box. Right, we're going to see if we can get hold of anybody from Arathusa to find out about the lion situation. So I'm going to send you back across to James, who's hopefully drying off now on quarantine.
I am drying off, and we're watching a hymenopterid of some sort. In other words, what looks like a wasp, except that when I look at it, it looks to me like it only has one pair of wings, and that means it cannot be a hymenopterid or a wasp or bee or ant. It must be a fly. And it could be what we call a wasp-like fly. Ooh, I've got him. Don't fly. Look at him. Isn't he amazing? How cool is that? Now, when it gets cool like this on a summer's afternoon, what it means is that the insects suddenly find it very difficult to fly away. There's no ways that we would have been able to do this at the beginning of the drive. He almost certainly would have flown away. Huh. Right, now what I want to do is just examine the tops of the wings. Now the microscope, of course, would be best for doing this. I think this is a fly. It's only got one pair of wings as far as I can tell. So I'll try and find him. And I suspect he's disguised as a wasp. If anybody's got any idea exactly what kind of a fly or wasp he is, I'm pretty sure he's a fly. I would love to know from you. I will have a look when I get back home. And it would be, of course, great to look at him under the microscope. But we're not going to get him back to the microscope, I'm afraid. Now, I stopped here to look at a plant, and this plant has an interesting personal story behind it. Once you've had a last look at the fly/hymenopterid, we're going to go with fly for that one. And it's this plant here. Now, when I went off to university, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life, so I did a biological degree because it seemed slightly more interesting than law or accounting or economics, and indeed it was. And during one of my university holidays, my father and, in fact the whole family, came up to this area, to a place not too far north of where we are now, that wasn't part of the Greater Kruger but is now. And I asked the guy there, I said, there was this plant was all over the place. And I said to him, what is this plant? He had no idea. And I took a sample way back then, and back then I didn't know what a hornbill was, so I was totally clueless. And I have yet to find out what it is, but I've now just found the plant again. So I'm now going to, after all these years, nearly 20 of them, if you can believe it. I know it's impossible to believe when you look as young as I do. But yes, it has been that long, and so I'm going to try and find out now what this plant is. I believe it belongs to the family Asteraceae, but so do about 7,000 species, I think. So that's not really narrowed it down a great deal. You may have noticed that I've lost my very fashionable bum bag on account of the fact that it has my camera in it, and Jerry very kindly acquiesced to taking it home. Thank you, Jerry. Good. Let's carry on. Megan reports that it has arrived in the final control. What a relief that is. Good. Now the elephants are calling down here somewhere, and I'm going to be a little bit circumspect about trying to find them, because Herbert reckoned that they were chasing something. They were making a loud trumpeting noise, and as the light fades, we're going to walk very carefully down towards this area and see if we don't come across them through the dip and up the other side. There's a nice termite mound there that we're going to head to and climb onto the top of. In the meantime, I'd like to get a weather report from Taylor, find out where she is and what's going on, so you can ask her for me and tell me the next time you see me.
Well, we just try and navigate at the moment, so I apologize if I don't turn back and look at the camera very often. Is because I've been called into a lion sighting. Now, I'm not exactly sure who of the Styx is here, but we will find out hopefully soon if we can get there. We just got to do quite a bit of navigating, so we'll try and get through some of these roads as quick as we can. And of course I need to use my GPS to go through here, so that is why I'm holding my mobile up, just so that I can figure out exactly where we are. There's lots of twisty, windy roads here in Arathusa, so sometimes it's a bit tricky. And to be honest, we don't come on to Arathusa as much as we should. We always get stuck with, not stuck, seems to be a negative word. We find ourselves spending quite a bit of time with Karula, who is often on Djuma, and of course like the elephant sightings, before you know it, you've spent an hour with them, and then it's too dark to go exploring. Right, let's turn down here. I think we've got to take our next left, but I am going to look out for a two-track, a bush road that goes off somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where, but we'll find out soon enough. Just double check. Yes, I think we're going the right way. Now I see an off-road track going here. Whether this is the one I'm supposed to take, I'm not sure. Let's see. No, this doesn't look very prominent. Nope, that's not the one we're supposed to take. Maybe someone was just reversing here or pulling off to have a luxury bathroom break. Who knows? That's not the one we're looking for. Now we got to turn. Right. Just need to concentrate a bit around here so we don't get too lost. Okay, so we go down here, I think. And now I think we start looking for a two-track that goes off the road. It sounds like it was a very popular sighting earlier, but perhaps the rain has chased vehicles away, because there's only myself going in and then there's one other car there, which is bizarre. Oh, here we go. Yes, this looks right. Now I think we can put the GPS away. Is it go into low range when we go off-road? And in we go. This looks like a fairly fresh track that many cars have been driving over. So hopefully we'll get these lions. Yes, there we go. I can see a car now. So we're definitely on the right track. Ooh, and I can even see a male lion. How exciting. Now we do need to just figure out how we're going to park in here so we can get a view. Obviously we've got the canvas flaps down, and it's a bit late to try and fold them up, especially because we're about to enter in a sighting. I think we need to go another way around. What I want to do is I want to find a gap through here, just because it's quite tight here. You can't see now, but there's lots of guarri trees, and I don't think we're going to get a view. Oh no, I've stalled now. Well, let's go here around this way, and then hopefully we'll be able to pull it. Oh my goodness, it's so tight. Let's go all the way around through the sneaky gap. Yes, this is looking a little bit better. There we go. It's nice and open, so it's not really such difficult off-roading. I can see the lines and I can see little cubs too. This is exciting. Let's see if we can get a nice spot here. Obviously now the trickiest part is trying to position the car so that we are facing forward. So it's going to take a little bit of maneuvering to the trees, but there they are. We've got 2 of the Styx Lionesses at the moment. I can see 1 cub. And I did hear a contact call coming from the left, and I think that's why they were looking across that way. There's also a Birmingham male. I can't see who it is just yet. We'll just have to wait and see, of course. Oh my goodness. I haven't seen the Styx lions in a very, very, very long time. The last time that I saw them, I think it was 2 months ago at the Djuma Dam on Cheetah Plains. We had the 1 lioness with her 2 cubs. Now I believe that there were new cubs that were born, and I think that that's the 3rd lioness that's missing from here. So these cubs, I can only see 1, and I'm pretty sure there were 2, but we'll see. It could be, yes. Who's contact calling? Someone else is talking. So I don't know what other lions are here. We'll just have to wait and see and play it out. But that little cub should be about 3 months old now. Here we go. You should be able to hear them contact calling. Oh, this could be very exciting. I can definitely hear another adult and a young one calling. Comes the other young cub. You can see the other sibling is going into the stalking position. Oh, this is going to be exciting. Laying flat in the grass. Hello, I'm back again. So that must be Mom over there. And typically they'll always come over and greet Mom first. Or you never know, maybe that's Mom. They also have got such a strong bond between the members of a pride. Let's see how this Birmingham reacts. Nope. Get away from me, I'm not interested in you. Snarling, and they don't care. They're just like, oh, but one day we want to be like you. Now, Mary, you're wondering how many Styx lions there are. There are 3 adult lionesses. I don't know how many cubs we have. We've obviously got these 2 that we can see. But I know that there was 1 more lioness that has had cubs, but I'm uncertain as to how many there are. We'll have to find out. We'll ask away. But this is very, very cool. I'm just trying to work out who Mom is. Let's see if this one is going to suckle here. But isn't that amazing? Even at such a young age, at just a couple of months old, they're already showing those signs of socializing with the pride. You know, not just going over and greeting Mom, but making sure that they greet every single member in the pride. And I suppose it's like manners, like us. When we are taught as kids, when your folks have a dinner party, you have to make sure that you go and say hello to everybody and greet them and learn their name. And that's what happens with lions and elephants and any of the animals that are quite social. Hi little guys, I'm just trying to think how old these cubs would be. It must be about 3 or 4 months. I don't think that they're particularly old. But it's getting a little bit dark now, and that's not a worry for us with these lions just yet. But I think it's time we go across to James and make sure that he gets home safely.
It's so nice having colleagues concerned for your safety. It's just the most warming feeling in the world, isn't it, David? Yes, indeed. We are walking at quite a speed because we wanted to show you one more thing. And it was a little group of acria butterflies, well, 2 of them, and they were feeding very quietly just over here. Come, David. I think it was here. It was on one of these plants. Where was the little green bush? Herbert, here we go. Well spotted, Herbie. There we go. Just over there. Isn't that cool? They're sitting on the hare's tail plant. And we've seen lots of acreas on these plants. And they must have some kind of thing that they like to drink. Nectar in the flowers. But they feel very dry and very spiky and very unpleasant to the human hand. Isn't that cool? And just like that fly we were looking at, these butterflies have now, well, I mean, at this time of the day, with this amount of light, they would be settling for the light anyway. But it's very difficult to get close to them like this on foot, because they do fly away because they get so nervous. But because it's cooled down suddenly, sort of, I'd say at least 10 degrees Celsius in the last half an hour, suddenly they don't really have a choice. They have to stay still. You can see the wind still blowing there. That's beautiful. Right. Well, our final act is going to be to head home, but just to quickly show you the McCurdy-hurdy, and they're very difficult to see, of course, because now it's turning to night time, isn't it, David?
It is.
Yes. And a cloudy night at that. Most relieved we didn't have to open up the tent, not because I don't like the tent, but because it's just a very nice afternoon to be out here. Right, shall we start making our way, David? Herbie reckons that round about now is when we should be heading home. We're not far from home, mostly on account of the fact that Geraldine, well, she brought us most of the way home. Thank you, Jerry, for that. And it is incredible how quickly the light does fade. Okay, well, we are going to say goodbye to you. Thank you very much for coming on walk with us. Thank you, David. Thank you, Herbert. Big thank you to the Final Control and all of you on walk. I'm not sure who you're going to now, but I will see you tomorrow at 05:30. And until then, I hope you have a wonderful Sunday evening/morning.
Look how beautiful this scene is as these two very young cubs come over and snuggle. But they're also playing a little bit. But they all seem to be waking up very, very slowly, which is quite exciting. Now, something that we must remember is because these cubs are still very, very young, even though Mom is here, we're not going to be able to put a spotlight on them. So we'll try and stay with them as long as possible. I also don't want to bother them with the vehicle. I did notice the last time that I'd seen Mom and these two little ones, they were quite nervous even of the cars. They obviously look like they've settled down quite a bit now. They've been interacting with the vehicles, and lion cubs are very easily habituated to the cars. But even with the infrared, the movement of the car at night might disturb these little ones. So I think we'll just wait until they are a bit older. So we'll probably get another 10 minutes with them, and then unfortunately we're going to have to say a goodbye to this lovely pride of lions. And just until they're a little bit older, then I think it will be okay to start viewing them at night. You can imagine, it's very disorientating for them, even though their eyesight is phenomenal at night, to have a vehicle clanging over branches trying to follow them. I don't think Mom will be very impressed with us. So we'll just have to, well, we always do, we always try and respect the animals as much as we can. We don't want to intervene with them or upset them in any way. But aren't they cute? And they're looking good too. They're looking really, really sweet and precious. Hello. Now, Lorena, you've asked which male Birmingham is here. I have no idea. I haven't seen his face properly. It was such a quick sighting, and I didn't get to have a good look at him. We'll have to wait and see. But maybe if anybody got a screenshot of the Birmingham and can assist us, please hashtag Safari Live if you can help Lorena and myself as to who that Birmingham is. But it won't be too long before I'm sure he puts his head up and we can have another look at his face. But something that I'm all sure that you can see straight away is how mangy the Styx Lionesses are, and even the cubs. Very much around the elbows, around the feet and on the ears. You can see the damage from the mange. Not so much on the adults, a little bit, but on the cubs you can definitely see it. Look there, you can see also on their tummies, you can see that the hair is just not growing very well. And I'm sure that they're also very itchy, though that also looks like a combination of mud. But they're just not clean and fluffy. And it's very sad. Remember, the Styx Lionesses lost all of their cubs a couple of months ago last year. And it was very, very sad. So I'm not sure if they're going to be able to overcome something like this, and whether they'll have a couple of generations, to come. Let's keep the thoughts, of course, positive. Now, I'm really hoping that Birmingham does decide to sit up so we can have a view. Oh, let's have another look at these lions before it gets too dark. Hello Tesla, you're only a mere 6 years old and you're wondering why lions have manes. Well, Tesla, it's only the boys that get the manes. Typically, I must tell you, I have seen footage of a lioness with a mane before, which I think was just she had too much testosterone. And anyways, the main reason why the boys have manes is it's to help protect their vital organs. So it's to help protect their throat. It's to help protect all the vital organs around in that area. Because when male lions fight, that's the thing that they go for the most, is they want to try and injure their opponent as quick as possible. And it also makes them look big and strong, don't you think? And it's very attractive. The females love a male with a big dark black mane. But not all lions have that. The Birminghams are getting there. Craig's having a little giggle at the back, and I'm sure you can imagine why. Craig, you naughty. Come on, Mr. Birmingham lion. Look at us so we can see who you are. I don't know if it's Tenor, because I haven't seen any mange on him. Now, Sarah, from all the way from Georgia in the US of A, you're wondering if I think the cubs look healthy. I think they're doing all right. I mean, like I said, they've definitely got a bit of mange. You can see it around their face, and you can see they're quite itchy on the back of their elbows. You can see that dark patches of skin. You know, I'm so scared to say anything, Sarah, because of what happened to the cubs the last time. And these Styx Lionesses do have, well, a history with these cubs. So we'll just have to wait and see and hope. Oh, look, hello, my little one, giving little youngsters a little bit of love. So we'll just have to see, but for the moment they look alright. They've got full bellies, and so do the adults, and a bit mangy, but let's see, maybe they can beat it. It's a good time to, if anything, to have mange, because everything is so green. There's rain. The water often helps wash away a mite like that. It can a little bit, but also you need a combination of grooming and a good diet. And there's so many animals for them to catch at the moment. Lots of impala, and also the animals that they'll be feeding on will be very healthy. Remember, we had that big problem with the white mussel disease, which is that disease that buffalo typically got in this area. A couple of different animals can get it too, but we saw it the worst with the buffalo. As they were losing condition, they weren't getting enough nutrients from the grasses, and then in return the lions were feasting upon them and not getting the nutrients that they needed, and this is obviously a big problem. So hopefully now that the animals that they're feeding on are healthy, that will help boost their immune systems, and they will have a second lease of life. But let's keep positive. Let's all say on 1, 2, 3, the Styx little cubs can do it. I think that they can. Right, we're actually going to have to leave these little lions now. It's got too dark. I don't want to disturb them. I just thought we'd poke our nose in to have a very quick look, but I hope that you've enjoyed that. And we're going to go across to Tristan now, who's also got the fading light. Let's go take a look at some zebra.
Indeed, we do have the fading light, and we've come up towards quarantine because Wendy's having a little moment and she's battling to go anywhere, so we've limped our way home and we've managed to get up to quarantine, and we've caught up with the McCurdy who were causing a little roadblock when we first arrived. And you can see that one is one of the reasons why there was a roadblock. Look at all the soil that's all over it. So it's had a really good roll around on the road, and that's all just to help with keeping their skin condition good. So it's exfoliating, gets rid of lots of dead skin cells, as well as helps with the control of parasites. They're going up towards where Brent and Jamie stay, so that's where they're off to, and the rest of them have gone off into the clearings here. They were joined by a group of impalas as well, so we've got the zebras and the impalas, and they'll all be coming out onto quarantine now because they know that it's at this time of the day that the predators will start to wake up and start to move around, and it's going to be a very dark night with all this cloud cover, so better for them to get into these open sections where at least there'll be a little bit of light rather than complete darkness like we will see, or complete difficulty in seeing like in the thickets around quarantine. So that's why they're going to be out in the open now, and you'll find lots of impalas will be coming out, and there's two different groupings of zebras. So there's the ones that we've been seeing quite regularly, and then there's another one that's been joining in at night. They seem to disappear during the day, but at night they come down and onto quarantine and spend the night here. The early hours of the morning start moving off again. But you can see, look at the road in front of us here, how it's been completely disturbed by these zebras. They've been rolling around and playing and having a really good time. There's a bit of elephant droppings in there as well. That was from last night. I know Taylor had elephants around here last night, so that's from there. But the rest of that is all from the zebras messing around in the dirt and making a little bit of a fun. The little babies are also doing their thing. So as you can hear, Wendy's sounding a little sick. She, I think, has got a clogged fuel filter, so she's not getting the right amount of fuel, and it means that we really can't go over the speed that we're going right now. So it takes time to get anywhere, which is okay. So that's exciting news. Rather than watching me spluttering across quarantine and Wendy, let's go back across to Taylor, who seems to have caught up with one of the Birmingham boys.
Hi, boy. Hello, big boy. I don't know. I can't hear them anymore. Oh. No, they're just. It's impressive to have a big male lion walk past. All right. Hello, everybody. We have got a male lion behind us. I'm going to let this other car quickly past us. We'll just pull off. We need to turn around. The only thing though is if he goes towards the rest of the pride, we're not going to be able to follow him. So make sure that they're past us. But he walked right past me, my goodness. And he was so close. It's really quite intimidating when you don't have a door on the car. And I mean, I've had many lions walk past me with no door, but just to see the size of them is just absolutely incredible. Put hairs against my arm. And you see them, they know you're in there. They look at you, they go, oh, I know that there's something inside there. I don't think they're as unintelligent as we sort of make out. Again, I don't think they're as intelligent as an elephant or a dolphin or anything along those lines. And we just need to try and get a look. Let's quickly have a quick look at him. Just over there. We're going to lose him. Got to be quick, Greg. There he is. And this is Nhenha, by the way. He's a beautiful looking lion. He's got the equal scar in his nose as he walks away. A very unscathed face compared to the rest of, well, especially compared to Tinyo and Mfumo. There you go. He's going to come through that next gap. We just try and grab a couple of looks through here. Now it's a bit dark because we're relying on the other guide's spotlight. Okay, let's catch up. Now he's actually gone past where the other lions were, which is great. So he hasn't quite worked out that there's anybody just 50 meters from us to our left. That means we can follow him, which is fantastic. So we went off just down here and around the corner. He's obviously looking for them, but they're not making much noise. They were contact calling when we arrived in the sighting first, but then they quietened down. That's maybe what drew his attention. And now he's on the roll. Something has bitten me on my neck. It's not very nice, insects. Okay, let's see if we can get another view. Here we go. Let's have another quick look at him as he walks off into the distance. Okay, I'm going to quickly go past. We've just been called around. We'll do leapfrog. Thank you very much. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to play a game of leapfrog, which we often do. So we'll have a look now. There we go. So as we're driving, Craig's obviously going to stay on him, but you'll probably see a bit of movement in the car, so don't worry about that. We're going to try and get the best view. Now I hope he does a big roar for us. That would be really quite wonderful. But he's on patrol at the moment. We've had some rain. It's washed away most of the scent marks that they have made from last night, and then of course a little downpour we had this morning. So it's important that he goes around and reestablishes his territory. We're going to try to catch up with him. He's going off onto an animal pathway. Just trying to see. He's going down that way. Oh my goodness. Now, Cedo, you're wondering how big can a male lion get? They can get massive. The Birmingham boys, I don't think, are particularly large. Now we need to just try and find our way in here. Actually, there's a power line, old track here. So I think these Birminghams probably weigh between, I think, about 185 kilograms. So what is that? Almost just under 400 pounds, almost 400 pounds, somewhere around there. So they're not particularly big. If you go towards the Charlestons, which are two male lions that roam around on the southern sector of the Sabi Sands, they're massive. They'll be closer to just over 200 kilos, I would say. Nhenha's not small though. He's quite tall. I mean, especially now that he just walked past me. Right, oh, here he comes. Fantastic. He's going to pop out next to us. Let me get the spotlight. So what I'm going to do is we're going to wait for him. He's going to come out. Here he is. He's coming. You won't see him. He's just coming to my side, but we'll watch him now. There he is. And again, with a spotlight, we're not going to shine it in his eyes. We just shine it just off of his body. He's a beautiful lion, though. An absolute stunner. Isn't this incredible? We've had the most unbelievable safari this evening. Now we're going to play leapfrog again. So we're going to be sort of jumping in front of each other as we go along, which is fine. We have to take turns while we're here. Now, Cedo, thank you for all of your questions this evening. I'm thoroughly enjoying them. You've asked if I think that they've made a kill. I don't. I don't even know what the Styx are doing here. They must have been chased by somebody, because the Nguhumas have now gone to the western corner. The Styx have ended up here. And the last time that I heard, the Styx lions were actually hanging around Annette's Shelley, somewhere down there, a little bit further south from where Arathusa is. So I don't know if the Talalas have maybe made an appearance and chased them off. You know, we're obviously unsure about these things and we can only speculate. But I don't think that they've made a kill. Maybe they will make a kill tonight. It's good hunting weather. Clouds, not very many stars are going to be seen this evening, and a bit of wind. So it really does help the lions. It's in their favor for them to go hunting. But at the moment, they're just catching small things. Impala, nyala, kudu where they can. A zebra would be ideal, or a wildebeest, because remember, the buffalo are not around at the moment. They are all hiding about. We'll just keep tailing like this, and if there's an opportunity to zip around, we definitely will. And what we'll maybe even do is, I see that this car in front is definitely a photographic vehicle. There's lenses that are, my goodness, taller than I am. And what would be quite nice for them is if we get in front and we actually backlight that lion, which would be really nice. So we try and help each other out when we're on safaris. You've got to think about things like this. When guests do come out, you know, there are a lot of people very interested in photography these days, and you don't need the fanciest DSLR. These little compact cameras are fantastic nowadays. So it's nice to play around and give people interesting shots, because you never know when someone that's come from the USA or from China or from Australia, when they're going to get another opportunity to come back and view these animals in the wild again. So we make sure that they have a fantastic experience. Well, we try our best, don't we? And I'm sure everyone's having a great drive. I think it was very quiet this morning. Alright, so we're going to keep having a look around here. Now, unfortunately, it seems as though there's the lion again. He just marked his territory quickly. It seems as though Wendy's having some issues. I'm uncertain as to what the issues are, but she has returned back to camp. Now you're stuck with me, unfortunately. Okay, cool. We're going to stay with him. And what we'll do is we'll do the backlighting. Let me just find the right radio. I'll backlight the Singala for you if you'd like. There we go. I don't even know what I'm driving over at the moment. It's very long grass, as you can see. But we're just going to hang back, and like I said, we can, oh my goodness, I can see some big stumps coming up. We just got to be careful here. I think they're going to turn around and come into the sighting. Oh my goodness, what is that? Termite mound / stump. Better not drive over that. We've driven into enough trees for one day. There's an impala. I kid you not, you won't see it. It's about 30 meters over there, standing dead still in the bushes. It's watching the lion. It actually hasn't even alarmed, and that's a good idea, just to stay quiet and stay hidden. So this will be very nice for these guys. They're going to wait. We're going to backlight this beautiful lion. Oh, he's just walked into an entire herd of impala. They're all snorting now, but it doesn't seem like he's interested. Now, Junkie, you were wondering if Nsuku and Nhenha are brothers. Yes, technically all 4 of the Birminghams are brothers, but we don't know if they're directly blood related. It's very hard to tell because we didn't see their pride, as the Birmingham boys come from the Birmingham farm, which is situated in the Timbavati. So they've come from the same pride. Whether they're from the same female, I'm uncertain. There could definitely be an opportunity that they're from the same female, or also they could become from different females. And I think Nhenha and Nsuku are slightly older than Tinyo and Mfumo. You can definitely see that with their manes. Let me do a bit of backlighting here. Let's see, as he marks. It might be quite nice. No, not really working too well. But beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. How lovely is that? Very cool. He's gone on to Triple M now. Right, let's get another shot of him. I can't even hear the radio anymore. Let me just turn this up again. Okay. Right, back to where we started. This is where we came in. Let's follow him for a little bit. I don't know if they're going to follow us as well. Actually, what we might do, no, we won't be able to. I was going to see if we could get in front of him, but actually, hold on, Craig. Let's try our luck. Or is he coming here? Is he coming on to... He might actually be coming... He's going to come into Djuma. He's now using the luxury facilities. Oh no, please let's not be downwind of this lion as he uses the bathroom. That's not going to be great. I'll just illuminate him slightly. This is lovely, don't you think? We see him marking his territory, we see him walking, and now we see him using the luxury facilities. Isn't that great? Amazing. No privacy for you, lion. But, well, he doesn't mind though anyway. Now, we're not going to go anywhere. We're definitely going to stay with this boy for as long as we can. I'm going to send you across to Tristan, who seems to be a mechanic and is out and running again.
Well, I'm not a mechanic because Wendy is not going to be fixed right now. I just needed to come and help Taylor with this afternoon. Didn't want her to be talking too much. She already talks enough, so we don't want her to get a sore throat. And we've taken Jigger instead. We managed to get Jigger working from this morning, so everything is just fine now. Hopefully nothing else goes wrong. As VM says, I don't think we can experience many more technical difficulties than we've had this afternoon between the two of us. Right, so we start again. See, maybe we'll be as lucky as Taylor. Taylor went back to camp, got her rain covers, and managed to go out and find the Styx and one of the Birmingham boys. So maybe us going back to camp will also be good luck, and we will find a leopard somewhere. That's the positive vibes I'm throwing out into the world this evening. One thing that there is a lot of, which is elephants at the moment, so I'm pretty sure we'll bump into another grouping of those. I saw tracks for a whole bunch coming up this way as well, so I wouldn't be surprised we bump into another grouping of them. Also, this is a good area for bush babies, so I'm scanning very carefully on all of these term areas which are bush baby loves. Terminalia exudes lots of broken. Babies utilize them to their best abilities. Oh, and we've got a bronze-wing corsair in the road. So these guys have been around quite a bit lately. Unfortunately, that one has just flown away, which is pretty typical of our afternoon so far. Also, apparently we're losing a little bit of signal again, so I'm not sure if we're going to be able to carry on down this road. So I'm just trying to scan where we are, see if there's any sign of anything. So there's not really much happening here. We're going to go back to Taylor, who's got something far more interesting than what we do, and hopefully he'll be up and moving and maybe even vocalize for Taylor.
Right, we're trying to navigate through long grass, as you can see. I have no idea what I'm driving on or where I'm driving through, and I just hope we don't fall into a hole. We're trying to catch up with him. Oh my goodness. I don't know where I'm going. Let's try. Oh, please don't be any big holes. Please don't be any big holes. We're buried in the long grass. I'm trying to get another view for you. Ooh, it's so scary. Not really. That's not that scary. I've driven over much worse, but I'm trying to very slowly get in front of him. But this is actually proving quite difficult because I also don't want to fall into a hole and get stuck. Okay, let's gun it. Let's gun it. When I say gun it, I'm going about 10 kilometers an hour. It's not very quick at all. But you can see him. Okay, I'm gonna go past him. Please don't be any big bumps. Please don't be any big bumps. Okay, we're almost past him. I need to get a bit further ahead, of course, though, so that I can turn around and we can view him and we can just reverse. Almost, 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 almost. A little bit further. Just want to do a big gap. Woo! So I love safaris. Safaris are just wonderful. Should we let's watch him walk past us here. He's coming, but we'll just be patient because there's now cars down this side and then there's cars here. So we'll actually just wait for him. We'll just sit patiently and he's going to walk straight in front of us. But we've got lots and lots of cars joining us in this sighting, of course. He's coming slowly. Hello. Okay, let me turn my light off. Let me not blind you all anymore. I'm blinding all the cars. Now you're going to see quite a few flashes coming from the different directions. Everyone is very excited to see a big male lion at night. It's one of the most amazing things. But he's going to pop out in just a minute. 5, 4, oh there we go. Now my countdown is really bad and that's why I'm not a director. I'm just a presenter. Isn't he beautiful? Hello, gorgeous. He's actually going to walk right past their car. You can see how close he gets. Look at that. Doesn't even care. So happy to just walk right past. Hey? Me? No. What about him? Oh, Peter is saying that he stinks. I couldn't hear what he said. I thought he said, is it the Styx? I'm playing bush broken telephone. Now we're going to keep driving through the long grass here, which is my favorite. I feel like I'm Jurassic Parking right now. Like that scene where they're trying to lose the velociraptors through that field. That's what I feel like I'm doing right now. Obviously it's not quite as long, but as we start to hit the thatching grass, we're going to disappear in it. Now he's right next to us again. I'm going to try and go past him. Please don't be any big rocks or sticks or termite mounds. Okay, we're going to, woo, hold on Craig, hold on. Right. Same up. I'm going to turn around now. We're just chatting to the guides, of course, as we try and have a chance. So we'll have a quick chance. Everyone's doing what we're doing, taking the... Oh, I can hear a rattling sound. I don't know what I've broken now. Okay, we're going to let him walk past us. Okay, I'm just going to dim my lights slightly. No, there we go. And here he comes. Here he comes. This is very cool. He's going to walk right past us. I'm just going to triple check to see if it is Nhenha. I thought it was. It is, yes. I can see on his right nostril those two stripes. Look at him. There he goes, out of frame again. Oh, he's so big. He's really big. They're still not as big as other lions as I've seen before. But that's really incredible. Now I'm going to turn around again. My goodness, my heart, the adrenaline is absolutely pumping this evening. Oh, now we've got to do a 77-point turn here. Hold on, Craig, as we try and bump our way around on this. Oh, no, we've hit another boundary. Let's try. Yes. Yes, it wasn't too bad. Okay, we're going to go around again. We're going to sneak past Peter's vehicle. I'll put my lights back on in a moment. It's just I don't want to blind the guests. Turn the radio down a little bit. Right. Oh, okay, cheers. Have a good night. Right, we've got the whole sighting to ourselves. Can you believe that? So now we can have the lights on all the time. We don't have to worry about blinding anybody. So we're just going to follow him down the road very slowly. First gear, low range. We're just going to let the car do its thing as we follow this Birmingham boy. Now it just shows you as well as we sit here and we watch him. We can see that they're not afraid to be on their own, the Birminghams. They're actually quite confident in splitting up and doing their own thing. Now I wonder where he's going to go. If he's going to go and try and locate the... Let's put the big lights on now. There we go. Now we're talking. I think he might be going towards Simbambili because we are on Triple M. We've still got probably about a mile away from the gate, so not too far. So he may turn off. Maybe he's even going to cut through Viatella and go back north towards the Manuletti and then back into Buffelshoek. You never really know. I can see lights coming from the distance, so we'll keep these bright ones on him for as long as we can, but we'll have to dim them so we do not blind the guests that are in the other car. OJP, you're wondering why these lions are ignoring humans as we get so close. And all that is, it's just that these animals are habituated to the vehicles and the sounds and the smells of humans now. And we also don't behave like people when we're in the cars. They see this one big object, though when the lion walks past you and you haven't got a door on, I'm pretty certain that it can see that there's something inside. So they don't mind us. And the big cats, leopards and lions become very easily habituated. They become so relaxed that, like you've just seen, will walk right next to the car. We give them the option. We give them space. If they hesitate and they move around, then you've got to drop it back. Like at the moment I'm following him, I'm probably about 45 yards away. You can see we're actually quite a distance away, and there's nothing worse than tailing an animal right up onto the top of their heels. So we'll just give him space. Luckily Craig's got a great camera, it's got a great zoom, so we don't need to get so close. So it is nice to have them walking past the car every now and then, but obviously you've got to read their behavior. You need to just watch them for a little bit before you do something like that, and sit very still. You don't want to be jumping around when a big male lion walks past the car, because honestly there's nothing stopping them from jumping in other than they've just learned that we are not food. But if you entice them in any way, well then I suppose you've got to have the feel the consequences, whether that means you get into a bit of trouble. So that's what we keep telling the guests. And I don't know if you heard Peter, as the lion walked past, he constantly reassured his guests. He said, everything's okay, just sit still, don't jump around, make sure you sit still in your seat. And that's all you do. You just keep reiterating things to calm people down, because it is quite intimidating. We'll keep following this boy for a little bit longer, but I'm going to send you back across to Tristan for a very quick update.
So we're just coming to check along the boundary on the western side, seeing if there's any sign of shadow or karula. So far there's been nothing that I can report. I was just checking where I had shadow the other day, seeing if maybe she's come out from where she had that kill, but so far there's very, very little going on. There's also very few birds around, and it seems very, very quiet. As we're driving, I've been listening. There's very little in the way of bird calls, so if I turn off, You'll be able to hear that there's not very much going on. There's no scopsiles calling or any of those. So it is all very, very still at the moment. Just a couple of insects calling. But it is a beautiful evening. I can see some stars that are starting to come out in the distance. And the clouds seem to have separated out, and it looks like we might actually have a nice dry night, which will be great. It will be good to start the day tomorrow in dry conditions and not in the morbid conditions we had this morning. Wouldn't you agree, Vim? I agree, yes. I think it would be nice to have a dry morning. And you can see in the distance there is a car approaching, so I'm not going to be able to sit in the middle of the road. I'm going to have to just quickly pull off and see if we can get out of their way. I wonder if that's not Taylor, because those lights are very, very bright, which is often the lights that we use on these cars. So I'm just going to turn off our very, very bright one. There we go. So this is where I had Shadow yesterday morning, and where she killed was slightly north of us. So I'm just checking just to see. You never know. Shadow always pops up in the most random of places and where you least expect her. So it's always good just to check around for her, and it would be a really nice way to finish the day. I'm in severe need of some spots in my life. I have not had nearly enough leopard action over the last few weeks, so I'm really looking forward to a good leopard sighting. Yesterday morning was really nice to see Shadow, but as much as it was nice, it was also very brief. I saw her for the sum total of about 5 minutes, which was not ideal. So it is Taylor up ahead, and I think she's got the Birmingham there, but we're going to turn off and let her carry on with that so she can enjoy the Birmingham Boy to herself. I'm not going to go and blind her from this side, and I'll see if I can find something else. I'm going to try to see if I can find a leopard here somewhere. I have a good vibe that there's a leopard lurking somewhere in this long grass, and that we shall find it. Oh, there goes a little button quail that's just been spooked by us driving through this grass. So they've been calling quite a bit, and they make a very strange sound for such a small bird. Now these little birds are about this size. They are tiny, and this call that they make is something like a bullfrog, so it's a very low roar. And earlier we were listening to it calling, and VM asked me if it was a rain bird, because sometimes the Birchall's cuckoo will start off like that, but alas, it's not. It's the button quails, and they've been around quite a bit and been calling quite a bit, which is great. So they obviously in breeding mode at the moment after this little late rain season that we've had. Right, now Taylor is with those lions, as we saw, or lion in front of us, so I think let's go back to her and see what he's up to while we try and see if we can scratch out a leopard somewhere here.
We are indeed with the lions. Tristan, I thought you were going to come and join me in the sighting. I was going to backlight the lion for you and everything. But it seems as though Tristan has got other plans this evening. We'll stick with the lion though. I'm enjoying this, having an entire sighting on our own as we very slowly roll down the road with Nhenha, the Birmingham Boy. I think it's quite nice. It's not very often you get to see something like this. I actually want to call this in on the northern channel now, but I'm not sure how far I am on Triple M, which is, well, I think we're quite close to the gate now. Let's see if I can get hold of Rexon or Taxon. Taxon. Well, I don't know, people are speaking like robots to me now on the radio. If anybody can copy me, I've got one Madoda Ngala. He's mobile along Triple M towards the gate. I think I'm coming close to the power lines junction with Triple M. It's just myself here if anybody wants to come and join me. Just quickly call it in on the radio, of course, because I don't think that they would have heard this update yet. And like I said, like we saw on the other car, lots of vehicles, so photographers. There are definitely a whole lot staying at Gallagher and Vuyatela Lodge. There he is, urine spraying against the tree, also rubbing his cheek. on his face. Oh, there's a leaf stuck on his... Is that a leaf? Could it be another chameleon? Can you see that, Craig? There's something on his mane. Let's go closer to investigate. Now, I don't think it's going to be chameleon because I think that would just be too lucky to have a second sighting. But I do want to have a closer look. I think it was just a leaf as he brushed up. So, Craig, it's sort of on the right. Now, I don't know who's trying to talk to me. If it's... Someone's trying to talk to me, but they sound like a bit like what I'd imagine an alien to sound like. Craig, are you ready? You're going to have to be quick. I'm going to try and get up next to him so we can see what's on his... Can you see what I'm talking about? What is that? Is it a leaf? Is it a chameleon? We've got to play that game. Leaf or chameleon? I don't know what it is. It's so hard to see. But hopefully if he stops again, we'll be able to get another look. Now, it's definitely easy for a lion to pick up a chameleon when they are marking their territory, the way that they stick their heads into the shrubs. Let's see if he's going to stop here for us. Please be a chameleon. Please be a chameleon. Please be a chameleon. Let's try again, Craig. You can just see it. No, we're going to have to zoom right in to be able to make out what it is. Now, I just don't want to push him too much. Okay, Craig, you ready? And go! I think it's a leaf. I don't know though. What do you think? What do the directors think in Final Control? What is on his mane? Right, I'm going next to him now. Yeah, it's a leaf. It's a pesky leaf. Let's get a different angle. Right, the voices that I'm hearing are the Game Drive aliens. Game Drive aliens. The voices sound like very robotic and strange. It is a leaf, sadly. It's a guarri leaf stuck upon his beautiful big mane. Hold on, Craig. I need to be quick here because this lion ain't walking slowly. Here he is. Here he is. Okay, I'm going to now reverse. And you just need to get back onto the road again. Let's put the backlight on so I can sort of see. Okay, now we just hope that there's no one going to be behind us as we do this. Marking again. I'm going to keep the engine running. I do apologize. Just it's going to be quite difficult to start and stop every 2 seconds because we are going to have to reverse as he moves towards us. You can see he will come, but I'll try and stay ahead of him. Now, as we walk, I'm sure you're all wondering where this lion is going, and I know Cheetah in particular was wondering that. Cheetah, I have absolutely no idea. He's just going on a boundary, a territorial patrol, so he's going to mark areas that he sort of visits on a regular basis. Hang on, and a boundary road is a good road, of course, to mark. He's now going off-road. Okay, let's watch him like this. He'll come out. So he could be going anywhere. He stopped to have a little listen. It's so quiet. It's deathly quiet. So as he's moving around, he's also listening out for other lions, for potentially something to eat, all those different things. I think he's on Djuma now, and he's turning into Djuma. Oh, hang on, there's puddles here. Hold on, Craig. We may get lucky. We might see him have a drink. Come on, Rastaline, get in reverse. The little mud wallows just here. Oh my goodness. But they've been doing some maintenance on the roads. Ugh. And now have created a massive furrow. I don't know how we're going to get over this at all. There is actually a road here, believe it or not. But the tractor has been digging. Oh my goodness. Let's see where he's going to come out. He was walking straight here. Oh, he is having a drink too. Now I just need to try and maneuver so that I can show you. Hold on. Come on, Rusty. Come on. It's so hard to see anything with this silly roof. We go back just slightly. There we go. There he is. It is such an awkward angle. I apologize for taking 110 turns to get in here, but the only way you'll see this lion is if I park with my nose pointing towards him. But there he is, having a drink of water, and listen to the sound that he makes. Not a quiet drinker, is he? Isn't that beautiful? And I hope you're getting lots of nice screenshots. It's not often that we get to see Nhenha. He only pops his nose in every now and then. Craig, can you check your radio again for me, please? Just, there's lots of leakage. There he is. Now they can drink for a couple of minutes at a time, absolutely no problem. Trying to think, he's been here for about a minute already, and it's amazing the way that their tongue works. Like, he's done now. Just going to move back. There's not much room here, so I don't want to pressure him. Hello, boy. Sorry, boy. He's actually got a big gash on his face, on his right eye, so he's been in an argument with somebody. You can see it there. Not a big scar. We'll see as he comes through. Angle this. No, now we won't see it because he's going to walk past the other side. Very cool. Right, mister. Enjoy your evening. Good luck. We're going to leave this lion now. I think we shall let him go along with his day. We won't bother him too much. I think we've had some great fun with him. Now, roughly, you're wondering how long lions can live, and I hope you all enjoyed that. I do just want to give him a bit of peace and quiet and let him carry on as we go through this day. But these boys are about 6 years old now, and a big male lion can live up to about between 10 and 12 years old. Anything more than 12 is exceptionally old. It's like the equivalent of a human living to 100. Almost unheard of. It's not very common. They live a very, very tough life, constantly getting into battles with each other. Often they're killed. Most of them don't even live out their full years. This is a couple of birds on the ground. So they don't live for particularly long. But these boys are in the prime of their life now. Depending on what other lions come through, they could potentially hold this territory for the next 2 to 3 years. We'll just have to wait and see. Of course, there are many other lions around in the area, especially coming in from Kruger. Lots of young coalitions, also some young lions pushing up from the southern sector of the Sabi Sands. But sadly, we haven't got much time left with you. We're down to the last almost 20 seconds now, but it's been fantastic. We've had elephant swimming to end it off with those lions, and the downpour that we had, just adding to all the excitement and things that can happen out on safari. Once again, you never quite know what to expect around the next corner. But I hope that you've enjoyed it just as much as we have. But a big thank you from everyone here at Wild Earth, and we hope that you've enjoyed the show. We'll see you on the Sunrise Safari.